My name is Paddy Waters and I am a teacher here at the National Centre. At the moment I'm teaching on the degree programme, and I'm teaching different modules which are related to the kind of performance aspects of the degree programme. I got into circus when I was a teenager because I used to do a lot of amateur dramatics, and I taught myself how to juggle 3 balls and some juggling clubs, and that was good. And then I met a teacher who told me he used to be a street performer after I told him I was juggling, and he taught me he told me he could do some tricks like fire breathing and putting a nail up his nose, and he said he would teach me if I was interested. And I was of course interested, and my mum let me be taught by him. So when I was 16 I was fire breathing and fire eating and putting nails up my nose, and thought, this is fantastic. I love spectacle and circus and sideshow and things like this. And from there just kind of went to one place and another place, and I've been doing it for a long time. So I started training in Circus Media in Bristol when I first left school, and that was just a 1-year course at the time, and it was my gap year. But then through the gap year I realised that I loved circus and decided I needed to do more of it. And so I auditioned to come to the Circus Space, or what is now the National Centre, but was Circus Space at the time, and got in. So I went from finishing my first year in Circus Media and then came straight to the Circus Space, where I did another 3 years and got my degree. So I had 4 years formal training, and then since that it was about going out and working as much as I could, and was performing professionally for many years, and then doing lots of workshops with many teachers around, which is always good for my development. And then a few years ago I went to another school, which is the École Philippe Gaulier, with a very fantastic acting teacher and clown teacher who is Philippe Gaulier, and that is something that has absolutely changed my life. I had 2 years with him, which was the hardest thing I've ever done and the best thing I've ever done. And since finishing that, it's given me a real new energy with coming back to try and teach and to perform circus, to make it better. This year I've started to do the Masters, the MA in Directing Circus in Circus Media. So now I'm studying circus at a master's level, which is nice. I get to go back to more of the theoretical stuff. I'm researching loads more, and this is absolutely massively influencing all of my teaching again. So it feels like a nice big melting pot that I get to draw on. So that's the latest thing, part of my training at the moment. So at the moment we're studying some critical response processes. So this way the students get used to understand how to present work and then how to receive feedback. So there's structured methods so that the people giving feedback are giving feedback in the most productive way possible, so that we don't get too offended or defensive, because when we make work it's always quite hard for us to show it, because we can feel vulnerable. So it's very nice to know that we have friends that are there to help us make the work the best it can be, and that's what's really nice. So we have a structured method of giving feedback to each other, which is a great way to promote a healthy culture of presenting work and helping each other grow that work to the best it can be. What influences my teaching work, I think, has been all the teachers that I've had. So I've been lucky enough to have some very fantastic teachers that have been performing and doing circus for many years. So I always feel like I've learned so much from them, from their wealth of knowledge of 20, 30, 40, 50 years that they've been performing or teaching. And that's what makes me feel like I'm standing on the shoulders of giants. So I've had some great opportunities to learn with some really fantastic teachers. So I have been very lucky, I think, with the wide breadth of career that I've had. I like to do a little bit of everything. And I've been blessed with many, many opportunities. So I do street performing, I do corporate work, I do theatre shows, I do outdoor shows, a little bit of everything. So I've done large arena clown car shows, which has had me driving a car around a field, doing power slides and doing reverse to first and doing wheelies on a quad. I've been doing corporate work, which has had me traveling all over the world to places like the Middle East and Dubai and Kuwait, and been going off to India where I was working for the Commonwealth Games, back closer to London, doing some street stuff. I was performing with the Olympic torch relay in 2012. So I did a 10-week tour all the way around the UK, entertaining people as they were waiting for the flame to go by. That was good. I've done TV work and I've done film work as well. I am one of the clowns in the latest Dumbo movie, which was nice, getting to work with Tim Burton and lots of other people, and that was a great experience. And yeah, I have lovely experiences of working in movies, films, traveling the world, and also experiences of performing in the rain on the side of the street to a whole audience of about 5 people under a tree. But each performance, when you can get those audiences that are watching, they're always the nice highlights. And sometimes I remember all those little awkward struggling bits more than all of the lovely gigs that went seamlessly. It's always the little problems that are the little gems that I remember more now. I'm super interested in the performance aspect of what makes circus so exciting to be performed. I love to train it. I love how it makes me feel. I love how I get in touch with my body, but my main interest is in the performance of it. That's where I came from, that's my background, and it's always been about how to perform. So circus is a great reason to get up on stage and to perform, which is always an act of showing yourself.